in partnership with CommSec.
For a look at the markets this morning. Good morning, Tom Piotrowski.
Pete, good morning.
How are we?
We're looking forward to quite an encouraging start, Pete. The futures are pointing to a gain of almost 1%. So that's a contrast to some of the volatility that we've seen over the course of the last day as the trade tensions between the US and China continue to escalate. But last night there were some important outcomes for the US markets that helped, I suppose, provide a soothing balm in relation to those concerns. So the first one being that we had a host of much better than expected bank earnings, and that catapulted banks as a group much higher. That's important at a time, Pete, where the markets are operating in this vacuum of having no government statistics to navigate by. So that was quite encouraging news. We also heard from Jerome Powell. He spoke about the US economy doing quite well and also about the softening of the US labour market, which consolidated the view on the part of investors that the US Federal Reserve will continue cutting interest rates. And then those two factors combined saw the US markets dig themselves out of quite a substantial hole in the early part of the session. Now we've got gains of about 1/3% for the S&P 500. At its worst, that index was down by 1.5%. The Nasdaq was down by more than 2% at its worst. It's still in negative territory. It's down by not quite 1/4%. The Dow Jones is up by 1%. It was down by more than 1% at its worst. So quite good news from that vantage point. So today, as I said, the futures pointing to a gain of close to 1% when we kick off. A couple of corporate outcomes today. The Bank of Queensland reports results. The CBA hosts an annual general meeting. There'll be some updates out of the resource sector as well. Evolution Mining, the gold miner, will be reporting a quarterly update. Silver prices have moderated. You might recall that they have been charging higher lately, but they have fallen by more than 1% from their high, levels a day ago. So gold prices hit a new record high overnight. They're up by about 1% at $4,150 per ounce. And oil prices retreated by more than 1%, Pete. The International Energy Agency added more fuel to the fire about concerns of a supply glut next year. So that continues to put downward pressure on oil prices, down by more than 1% to $58.74 where the US benchmark is concerned.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Tom.